are prepared to break the silence. I'll be out in the sunshine, running beside the lions. I've been feeling down, but I've been looking up, afraid to fall. God, I've been so down, can you pick me up? Don't let me fall. Can you show me how to fix this mess? I am down and on my knees, and I may fall as I'm so close to the end.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football channel. It is time for match week number 7 of the 23-24 Premier League season. And last week was, a very interesting week in the Premier League. Obviously, we had that fantastic North London derby at Arsenal, which ended in a 2-2 draw as well. And we had a record-breaking away win as well for Newcastle United as they beat Sheffield United by 8-0 as well. Well, let's see how everyone did, didn't we? I got 9 points and my only perfect score. Yep, you guessed it. I seem to be having a bit of a habit of these. Liverpool 3, West Ham 1 was my perfect score. Top scorer in the comments, well, very, very well done. John Conway, yes, a very, very good good old subscriber of mine. 12 points you managed to get, which is very, very good as well. You will see across the bottom of your screen the fixtures that are going across for the week's games. There is 11 fixtures. That is because Luton Town against Burnley, which was originally scheduled for the 18th of August, which was obviously postponed due to, obviously Kenilworth Road not being ready. That is being played next Tuesday. That is actually being played on Tuesday, so it is a part of these fixtures. So let us kick things off. And we will go to the first game, and it is Aston Villa against Brighton and Hove Albion. Yeah, both of these sides enjoyed very, very good wins at the weekend. Aston Villa, a very good away victory against Chelsea. In the end, it was probably the fairest result. I know that Chelsea had their chances early on, but I think as the game sort of grew into it, I always had a feeling that Aston Villa would go in and get this victory. I mean, that's 2 wins in a row now against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, which is very, very good. And Ollie Watkins gets his first goal of the season as well. Really, really good to see Ollie Watkins on the score sheet, it has to be said. And yeah, fair play to Aston Villa, bouncing back after that 3-2 defeat to Legia Warsaw in the Europa Conference League was very, very good. So, Aston Villa will be wanting to keep ahead of themselves for sure. But Brighton, again, another great win, another comeback win. They did have to come from a goal behind to Dominic Solanke scoring for Bournemouth. But Karim Mitoma, very good substitution from Roberto De Zerbi. Obviously wanted to rotate the squad a little bit because of the exploits from the game against AEK Athens. And it worked the tree, didn't it? It worked the tree. Obviously, Ansu Fati and Karim Mitoma combined. And Karim Mitoma, it was that got both the double to win the game by 3-1. Obviously, this game last season, it did finish in a Villa victory. This was the final game. I think this was to determine Aston Villa getting, obviously, Europa Conference League. Wasn't it? So, how do you see this one going? I think that because it is at Aston Villa, I think I will give Villa the win. I know Brighton are very, very good on the road, you have to say, but I am going to give Aston Villa the win here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Aston Villa. So that's the 12:30 game, and we'll move on to the 3 o'clockers, and we have Bournemouth against Arsenal. One thing I can say about Bournemouth, right? Areola is a very good manager, and I'm sure he will get it right at some point. But there has to be a question: is he playing too attacking football at this moment in time, because sometimes in the Premier League you have to sort of adjust to, being in the top flight. And I think we've got to say it. Iriola did really, really well at Rayo Vallecano. Let me just say that he did really, really well there. Yes, Bournemouth are not getting the results at the moment, but they're still playing some good football. They're still playing some very, very good football. But there are a few Bournemouth fans that I've spoken to, and they're a little bit worried that him playing a little bit too attacking could potentially send them down. Like I'm going to be honest. I think there's worse teams off than Bournemouth. I'm going to say that. I don't think Bournemouth are going to go down this season. But it is a bit of a concern. It is a bit of a concern. But they have had a tough run of fixtures. And obviously, this one, they are obviously playing against Arsenal, who were involved in a magnificent North London derby. I absolutely enjoyed it. I think in the end, I think a draw was a fair result. I do think, though, Arsenal losing Declan Rice and Fabio Vieira to injuries, I think that was really, really pivotal, because you saw what happened to Jorginho. Um, and in the end, I think in the end it was a very, very good result for them. In the end, 2-2, because they battered Tottenham. They battered Tottenham for most of that game, and you always had a feeling that there was going to be a bit of a sucker punch, and in the end, Arsenal did actually get that 2-2. But they do have a good record against Bournemouth. They do have a very good record against Bournemouth. And I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. I'm going to go for them to win by 2-0. I think Arsenal will be a little bit too strong for the Cherries here. But I am going to say this now. I do think that the results will come for Bournemouth very, very soon. I'm pretty, pretty sure of that. But at this moment in time, I'm going to give Arsenal a 2-0 victory. And now we have, this is a very interesting game. Everton against Luton Town. Everton are finally off the mark after what seems a long, long time. And yet again, it's a team that they've gone away to that's began with B. Against Brighton, they weren't fancied last season. They won by 5-1. This last week, or yesterday, I should say, they beat Brentford by 3-1. So, look, Everton, very good win. Very, very good win, I've got to say. I thought you played very, very well. Tarkowski was excellent. Excellent as well. Doucouré, really, really good as well. And obviously, Dominic Calvert-Lewin coming off the bench to get another goal there as well. So, Everton just got to keep sort of... This shouldn't be a one-off. This shouldn't be a one-off. They should be looking to at least go on and win more games, and they have to win their home games, because their home record recently hasn't been great. So we now need to see Everton sort of coming into their own and thinking that they can definitely start to sort of climb that table a little bit. Luton Town, I've got to be honest, they were very unlucky not to win against Wolves. I think obviously Wolves going down to 10 men, which is a bit of a blow. It is a bit of a blow. Obviously, Jean Reichner Bellegarde, who impressed against Liverpool. I mean, you have to say he impressed against Liverpool. He got sent off for Wolves. And then again, I always had a feeling with Luton that they would get back into the game. And obviously from the penalty spot, obviously I will get on to Wolves later on. But you've got to say, it's now or never for Luton Town. I mean, as I said at the start of the show, they are playing twice this week. They are playing against Everton and they are playing Burnley as well. So good chance to get points. Good chance to get points for Rob Edwards' side. However, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Everton. I think Everton should look to win this game, and I think they will. I think they will win this one. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory to Everton. And now we have Manchester United against Crystal Palace. Obviously, both of these sides are meeting in the Carabao Cup as well, also at Old Trafford. And yeah, the same two teams are playing at the weekend as well. Manchester United against Crystal Palace. I've got to be honest, watching Manchester United against Burnley was very difficult. It was very difficult. I mean, yes, they got the win. They got the win. That's what matters. That is what matters. You play very, very poorly, you still get the result. That is what you've been inclined to. We all know Manchester United are. We've all known Manchester United are one of these teams that don't play well, but they still get the result. We've been accustomed to that, but they were very, very poor, very, very poor. I mean, look, Bruno Fernandes's goal is the only bit of quality in that game against Burnley, because that game was just a awful watch. It really, really was. And look, another injury for Manchester United. Reguilon looks like he's out for a couple of weeks now with a hamstring. It's just, injuries are definitely piling up for Manchester United. They really, really are. And I think you look at Manchester United at this moment in time, and you can't really say that this is a home banker. You can't really say it, especially with obviously their last home game against Brighton being obviously a 3-1 defeat. But United aren't playing well. They're not playing well. They're not playing great football. And this might be a chance for Crystal Palace, who got a 0-0 draw with Fulham. But I think on the balance of the play, I think they're very, very fortunate to get a 0-0 draw, because I thought Fulham were the better side. Sam Johnston made some excellent saves in that game. So Palace will go to Old Trafford. I'd probably say Manchester United would probably go through in the Carabao Cup. This game, I think, is a bit different. I think it is a bit different. And at this moment in time, I think the injuries are piling up for Manchester United. And I think before long, you'll probably see, youth players probably playing now. You probably see youth players playing for United with the amount of injuries that they have got as well. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think Palace can go to Old Trafford, frustrate them, and I'm going to go for Roy Hodgson's side to get a point. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw at Old Trafford. And now we have Newcastle United against Burnley. Newcastle. What a performance that was. Now, yes, we can say Sheffield United were really, really bad. But Newcastle United, 8-0 against Sheffield United. 8 different scorers. Now, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Look, Harvey Barnes went off injured, I think after about 8-9 minutes. Anthony Gordon comes on, and he terrorised. He absolutely terrorised that Sheffield United backline, especially that right back for Sheffield United. And look, goal scorers: Longstaff, Dan Burn, Botman, Callum Wilson, Anthony Gordon, Bruno Guimaraes, Almiron, and Isaac. 8 different goal scorers. Absolutely fantastic for Newcastle United. Yes, I think we were kind of all expecting when it got to 8-0. I think we were all kind of expecting with the 9th going, with the 10th going. But look, fantastic result for Newcastle. And I think a lot of people have been kind of saying that Newcastle United definitely needed a result like that. I think it's been kind of coming. We obviously saw it last season. We saw, them beating Tottenham, and it was 6-1. 6-1 last season as well. So, but away from home, very, very good. And 8 goals, fantastic result. Fantastic result. Burnley, they're not for the one for trying. Let me just say that. They're not for the one for trying, but there is definitely a lack of cutting edge there. A lack of cutting edge in the final third, has to be said. Did everything against Manchester United but score. Did everything against Manchester United, as I said. But going away to Newcastle, Newcastle will be absolutely joyant. I mean, they have Manchester City in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday, which would be a very, very interesting game. But I think if we're talking to home bankers, I think this is one of them. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Newcastle United. I think they will continue from where they left off. And then we have West Ham United against Sheffield United. Well, I will say West Ham played well at Anfield. They played well at Anfield. I know they'd lost by 3-1 in the end, but Bowen obviously got the goal. Souček had a header well saved by Alisson. Fantastic save from Alisson Becker there. Paqueta was one of the players of the match as well. They played well. They played well. Yes, Aguerd has made another mistake. Is it time for Aguerd to come out of the team? I think, if we're being honest, I think Mavropanos does deserve his chance. We've obviously seen in the Europa League, the Mavropanos played well. Mavropanos did play well in the last game that he came in, but Aguerd seems to be making a couple of mistakes recently, and obviously high profile ones. I mean, you can't really say he got away with one because the most Salah penalty is a penalty. He completely poleaxes him, and it is a penalty. So look, I think West Ham. I know they've been beat by Manchester City and Liverpool respectively, but I think that they can look at this game and think that they could definitely get something. Where do we start with Sheffield United? I mean, embarrassing. Awful performance against Newcastle United. I mean, it was so easy for Newcastle United to walk through that defence. I know that they're missing players. I know that they're missing, obviously, Ollie McBurney. I know that they're missing. They were missing a couple of players there as well. But 8-0, 8-0 at home. That is a battering. That is an absolute battering. I will be surprised if Paul Heckingbottom is still manager for this game. I will be amazed because that kind of result gets the manager sacked. And I know you can obviously look at the 9-0 that obviously Southampton lost to Leicester, and obviously Ralph Hasenhüttl did stay on in the job eventually, but Sheffield United, they are in the bottom three. They've got 1 point all season. It's just not good. It's just not looking good for them. And a minus 12 goal difference. That's the biggest thing, I think. Minus 12 goal difference. That 8-0 has taken an absolute battering to their goal difference. So it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Sheffield United. And it doesn't get any easier. I mean, if West Ham played like they did against Liverpool at Anfield, they did create a lot of chances. I think West Ham, there could be goals for their West Ham here. I think there could be enough goals for West Ham. And I'm sorry to say this, I'm going to go West Ham 4, Sheffield United. No, I just think West Ham are going to absolutely batter Sheffield United. And doesn't get any easier for Sheffield United, let me just say that. But yeah, West Ham 4, Sheffield United 0. And now we have Wolves against Manchester City. Wolves coming off the back of a 1-1 draw with Luton Town. Pedro Neto, we did speak about him last week. We obviously need to speak about him this week. Fantastic goal, solo run. Really, really good goal from Pedro Neto as well. And look, I think the penalty decision is ridiculous for Luton. I think it's an absolute ridiculous decision. I mean, the one thing that people can say is that the handball rule seems to be changing week in, week out now. Nobody knows the handball rule. Nobody knows the handball rule. And I'll obviously get on to the Tottenham game, the Arsenal-Tottenham game very, very shortly, because when we speak obviously about Tottenham. But that came off his foot onto his arm. Now, that's not handball. That's ball to hand. Yes, I know his hand is way up high like that. But for me, it's not a handball. It's not a handball. But again, we don't know what the handball is. And in the end, I think they're a bit unlucky to go away with a draw. As well, I know Luton had the ball in the net in sort of the second half to potentially win that game 2-1. But yeah, Wolves, it's been a tough start, been a very, very tough start for Gary O'Neill, and it doesn't get any easier when they got the champions Manchester City, who are 6 from 6. However, Rodri was sent off. Now, it's a stupid red card. He literally loses his head. He's just lost his head. Morgan Gibbs White is obviously going for the ball. Challenges Rodri. Rodri's completely lost his head, and he's basically put his hands right above Morgan Gibbs White's neck. Bit similar like the Casemiro one last season as well, when he was sent off. He had his hands over Will Hughes' neck as well. You just can't do that. You just cannot do that as well. But one thing as well, Phil Foden's been in very, very good form. I Julian Alvarez, Amazon, obviously Erling Holland, did get his goal in the end. I think it's going to be a long afternoon for Wolves. I really, really do. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to City. I just think City are just in a very, very good frame of mind, and especially with next week's big, big, big clash with Arsenal coming up at the Emirates. I think they'll go into that game. I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory to Manchester City. And now we have probably arguably one of the games of the weekend. It is Tottenham Hotspur against Liverpool. I gotta give kudos to Tottenham. I mean, Ange Ball, whatever you say about it, that Tottenham have been fantastic this season. They really, really have. I think it did take a bit of time for Destiny Udogie to get into the North London derby. I know he obviously got booked earlier on, and people were kind of saying that he did look a bit shaky, but actually in the game, I think he was really, really good. I think he was very, very good after obviously getting a yellow card. He was really, really good. Maddison, very, very good. Son, double, really, really good to see as well. And I think it's a controversial penalty that Arsenal get to make it 2-1. I don't think that's a penalty. I think that is. Again, we don't know what a handball is. We don't know what a handball is when it comes to this handball rule. But Tottenham have started really, really well. They have started very, very well. And this is arguably their biggest test as well. Look, I think that the North London derby was definitely their biggest test away from home. But this game is a big, big test because Liverpool, believe it or not, are sitting second in the league. And yes, I know it's very, very early on, but it's still very, very good to say the very, very least. Salah, Nunez, Liverpool have firepower now that you can basically say Salah will score, Nunez will score, Jota will score, Gakpo will score. It's looking really, really good. It's looking really, really good for Liverpool at this moment in time. And I've got to give Gomez credit because Gomez has been much maligned recently. He's been much maligned in the fact that he's had to come in to replace Trent Alexander-Arnold. And I think he did a really, really good job as well. So this is a really tough one to call, this game. This is a really, really tough one to call. I think it's going to be open. I think there's definitely going to be goals. I can actually see a draw in this game. I'm actually going to go for another Desmond. I'm going to go 2-2 in this one. I just think Tottenham at home could be a bit of a test for Liverpool. It could be a bit of a test. And I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think I can't really separate both sides. Yeah, I'm going to stick with my head on the line and go for a 2-2 draw. Now, there is only one game on Sunday. There's only one game on Sunday, and it's Nottingham Forest against Brentford. Now, I keep saying it, Forest have improved away from home. They have. You've got to say, look at the result last season. They lost 6-0 to Manchester City at the Etihad. They only lost 2-0. Now, you could argue that obviously Rodri red card probably changes the complexion of the game because obviously, City both did have 10 men, but Awoniyi had the chance to score as well. Look, I think Nottingham Forest are a much better side away this season. They really, really are. Coming in back for the home fans of the City ground, that will be really, really good to say the very, very least. Brentford's surprising defeat against Everton. I've got to say that now. They were very, very. They were just off it. They were completely off it, weren't they? I'm going to be honest. I think this is going to be a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think Brentford have to improve with the way that they played against Everton, and I think Forest will definitely improve the way they played against City as well. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in that one. Going to go for a 1-1 draw. And now we have the Monday night football, and then obviously we do have an extra game to predict as well. Oops, daisy, let me get there. Fulham against Chelsea, a London derby. Of course, Fulham did get a 0-0 draw with Crystal Palace. They did test Sam Johnston. They certainly did test Sam Johnston in that goal, but just didn't have that cutting edge to get get through to get that goal to win the game. But for other fans of Craven Cottage under the lights, should be a fascinating game, this one. Chelsea. What do you say about Chelsea? What can I say about Chelsea that I've said in a number of videos this year? They have no striker. They have no striker. Nicholas Jackson is now suspended because he's now got 5 yellow cards in 6 games. That is just dreadful. That's absolutely dreadful, to say the very, very least. Malo Gusto will be missing now for 3 games as well, with a red card that he picked up against Aston Villa. And Chelsea are just not in great form. They're just not in great form at this moment in time. And I can see Fulham piling on the pressure on Poch. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Fulham. I think Chelsea are a side that just need players coming back very, very soon. Simple as that. Simple as that, really. I'm going to go 2-0 Fulham. I think it'll be more misery on the road for Chelsea. Now, as I did say, we do have another game to predict. It is Luton Town against Burnley. This game was rescheduled from the 18th of August, of course, because of work being done on Kenilworth Road. As I said, this is now or never for Luton Town. They need to start getting points, and especially at home. But it's a battle of the two sides who came up. Now, look, it's very difficult to say what is going to happen because we obviously don't know what's happened. We'll obviously Luton Town at Everton, we'll obviously Burnley at Newcastle United. So if both of them would have probably lost, then maybe one could win. But look, both of these sides just need to start picking up points. They do need to start picking up points. I don't think a draw helps either team. I really, really don't. However, I can't really separate the two. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I just think that this is going to be a game where Luton Town and Burnley will look at, and I think that they will get a 1-1 draw in there as well. So there we go, guys. There are my predictions for match week 7 for the 23-24 Premier League season. I will go for my predictions very, very quickly, and then get your predictions in the comments section down below. So we'll go for Aston Villa 2, Brighton Hove Albion 1, Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 2, Everton 2, Luton Town 0, Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 3, Burnley 0, West Ham United 4, Sheffield United 0, Wolves 0, Manchester City 3, Tottenham 2, Liverpool 2, Nottingham Forest 1, Brentford 1, Fulham 2, Chelsea 0, and Luton Town 1, Burnley 1. So there we go. There are my predictions for the match week 7. Remember to get your predictions down in the comments, and like John Conway, you will get a shout out in the next video. So yes, some very, very interesting games coming up as well. Now, obviously Luton Town Burnley being a Tuesday evening, the next predictions video will be out on a Wednesday. It will be out on Wednesday. So please do remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also turn bell notifications on for every upload that comes on to this channel. But thank you very much for watching. Some very, very good games ahead of us, and enjoy match week number 7. And I'll see you in the next one.
Give me all you've got if you're prepared to break the silence. I'll be out in the sunshine, running beside the lion.